So ladies and gentlemen, this is the very moment we've been waiting for. May we be upstanding to receive our chief guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest tonight is none other than His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. He is being ushered in by the team that I mentioned earlier. Your Excellency, you are very much welcome to Kololo Airstrip, where we come to witness the celebrations of the International Day of Education. May we have an ululation to welcome the President. Hello, hello. The President is accompanied by Mama, the First Lady, and Honorable Minister of Education and Sports. We warmly welcome both of them to this event. He is waving to the receiving team, but at the same time waving to all of us. So you return the favor. Yes, His Excellency, you are very much welcome to Kololo Airstrip, where we converge today to celebrate a belated International Day of Education. As we welcome you, we are very happy that you've never disappointed us. Every time we have you as our chief guest, you always come and preside over. As His Excellency gets to the tent, we should get steady and ready for the anthems. Yes. Uganda Police, I know you are set to take us to the anthems, and there we go. We'll stay in the same position for a prayer.
Shall we humble ourselves and we pray? Our dear Father in heaven, our Almighty Creator, we are humbled before you that we as your children, you have given us an opportunity to celebrate this day. We want to say thank you so much for the head of state and all government structures. We want to magnify your name to be our God forever. We desire your presence to lead us. We desire that the Holy Spirit himself takes charge of this day, blesses every event that shall be celebrated in this day for the honor of your name. Thank you. We are blessed, and we stand confessing your goodness in our country, Uganda. May you come to be in fellowship with us for the honor and the glory of your name. Through our God, the Almighty Creator, we pray.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. May we resume our seats. Your Excellency, you are very much welcome to this event, where as a nation we come to celebrate the International Day of Education. Your Excellency, as you are aware, this day is always observed in the month of January, but the nation was busy with many other activities that were also very important for national development. Otherwise, our dear President, we always welcome you wherever we have chance to meet you. We want to congratulate you upon the so many achievements this country has had over the many years. We thank you for unreservedly supporting the progress of the education sector, especially working with Mama, the First Lady, and Honorable Minister of Education. We are confident that you are still leading this country to greater heights, especially in the field of education. We indeed pray that God keeps you and Mama and gives you more strength to stay on and continue giving wisdom to this country. May we always seek God's blessing in all the work that you do. His Excellency, as you were informed, celebrating this International Day of Education goes with a theme, and our theme this time is Artificial Intelligence and Education, Preserving Human Agency in a World of Automation. As we are all aware, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the period of automation and digitization, but as we do the education of our children, we cannot simply rely on automation alone. That is why the theme points to the fact that we still need human engagement. His Excellency would also like to thank Mama so much for leading this sector so well. We have always had achievement after achievement, and I know that my permanent secretary at the right moment will tell you about the many achievements of the sector, but we take note of her good mobilization skills and the fact that she has always mobilized the education sector to be at the front of all other sectors. Just a few days ago, Mama, through the services of Honorable Peter Ogwang, saw this country raise their flag at the London Olympics and the London Marathon, where we had our two very own performing very well. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that the details around what the education sector is doing will come from none other than the permanent secretary. Otherwise, Your Excellency, before you today at this event are a number of dignitaries invited from different parts of this country. We welcome you, Your Excellency and Mama, but we also have a number of cabinet ministers. As the protocol goes on, we'll come to know who exactly is here. Your Excellency, we have honorable members of parliament led by Honorable Kubeketeria, the chairperson of the Committee of Sports. We have a number of permanent secretaries coming in from different ministries. We have the RCC of Kampala. We have heads of international organizations, religious leaders, education partners who will speak to us shortly. We have top leadership at the Ministry of Education, executive directors, secretary generals, assessment bodies, principals of institutions, and we have several institutions, especially those dealing with TVET, right from universities, technical colleges, vocational training schools, and all the others. Your Excellency, the list of invitees is longer, but just to confirm that all people engaged in education are here, We have security working with us, we have civil society, and we have our usual friends, the media, coming to cover this event. At this moment, may I invite International School to give us the first bit of entertainment as our chief guest and Mama settle in at this event.
Kakutema bamwongere ndeko ndabandabira wa mulungi wange nyabo twaza mulungi webale kujja nyabo twaza mulungi webale kujja kakutema bamwongere nyabo ndabira wa mulungi wange nyabo ndabira wa mukwano yogeranga mama nyabo sebo obango chaye mukwano yogeranga mama nyabo obango chaye kwe mukwano yogeranga yo baba bambi wabo chaye mukwano yogeranga yo manyabo bango chayeyo mukwano yogerangeyo mama nyabo bambi mukwano yogeranga mama nyabo nyabo oh mama nyabo bango chaye mukwano yogerangeyo sirina buzibu naye bwobango nchaye no mukwano yogerange no nyabo sirina buzibu naye bwobango nchaye nyabo mukwano yogeranga mama jaja change sendigenda nesawo yange mama jaja change nyabo ndigenda nesawo yange jaja change nyabo ndigenda nesawo yange no jaja change nyabo ndigenda nesawo yange jaja change sebo nyabo ndigenda nesawo yange no jaja chafe nyabo ndigenda nesawo ya feno jaja fe Nandini muherade, erade wera, abageni ba, mama erade wera nanyini muherade erade wera erade nanyini muherade erade baba erade jajeyo erade bami tuli balamu erade tuli balamu eno erade nanyini muherade erade bami yawe erade jaja bami erade tuli balamu erade
abagenyi balamusa abantu bange nsanyuse nnyo kubalaba abange bwera abagenyi balamusa rade nanyini mwagabudde.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
abantu bange nsanyuse nnyo kubalaba erade nanyini mwagabudde erade amba wera nanyini mwagabudde abange ndi wera abantu bangi mwebale erade bange wera nanyini mwagabudde abange wera ndi bantu bange nanyini mwagabudde erade nanyini mwagabudde abange ndi wera nanyini mwagabudde abange wera nanyini mwagabudde erade njobudde bwe buno mwenyimba nga nejaga abange erade nanyini mwagabudde abange njobudde bwe buno mwagabulira
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Masaka School of Music. And I know that Masaka School of Music is listening to me. We are not doing very well on time. We know you have a lot. Thank you very much. We shall call you back when time allows. A loud hand clap for Masaka School of Music as they get off stage. Thank you very much, Masaka School of Music, for summing it up. Ladies and gentlemen, coming next on program, Masaka, may you listen to me? Thank you very much. Your Excellency, that dance was longer than that. We've only cut it short because we want to move with time. Otherwise, Your Excellency and Mama, we had a very long program to celebrate the International Day of Education, and the events began quite a number of days ago. We had several planning meetings. We had engagement with media led by Mama, the First Lady, who had a briefing. We started with an exhibition of TVET skills, and His Excellency, the big tent behind the person speaking is the one where various exhibitors are showcasing what they have, and majority of them are institutions. We had different teams marching in here today morning. They had to alert the entire city that the celebration of this day is on. Right about now, we've welcomed you and given you some bit of entertainment. Your Excellency, we now want to have you listen in to only 4 speakers who want to give some testimony about how they are excelling as beneficiaries of BTVET. May I request all the 4 to kindly come up at the podium, led by none other than Dr. Eddie Turiatemba Baingana, who is a PhD holder in these issues of TVET.
She is the chief promoter of TVET. Allow me, Your Excellency, to thank my PS, Dr. Kedres Turiagenda, who authorized the organizing committee chaired by Director Atima Francis to allow us to give a few testimonies about TVET on this tight agenda. Your Excellency, Dr. Edis Turiatemba's inspiring journey is a true testament to the transformative power of TVET in combating unemployment and promoting inclusive development. My story reflects on how TVET can create opportunities, foster innovations, and contribute to a meaningful nation growth. My journey started, Your Excellency, from Senior 4. When I failed to join Senior 6, I decided to go and dig. When I got 5 bags of Irish potatoes, I decided not to sell it in Nkongoro, Kamwenge, but brought it to Kampala on a train in 1991. Your Excellency, in the process, I joined Uganda Polytechnic Chambogo for a certificate in motor vehicle mechanics, which laid my strong foundation in technical skills. I then advanced to a diploma, Your Excellency, in mechanical engineering, and then later joined the higher diploma at the same institution, and also got a bachelor's degree in mechanical and manufacturing engineering. Your Excellency, at that time I was elected the guild president of Uganda Polytechnic Chambogo. Your Excellency, I did not stop here. I continued and went to Makerere University, where I gotten a master's degree in renewable energy. Lastly, Your Excellency, I completed my PhD in technology education at the University of Eldoret in Kenya. Your Excellency, my journey is intertwined with work that enabled me to pay for myself. All this journey I have been paying for myself. And my professional career is equally remarkable because, Your Excellency, I started in a garage at Musaja Arumba Road and joined Mengo Technical Institute as an instructor, and later joined the government as a technical teacher at Kapchorwa Technical School. I later I was promoted to chief instructor at Jinja VTI, and later became a principal at Bumbeire, Narwire, and Kiriandongo Technical Institute. I am proud now to say, His Excellency, that I am serving as Assistant Commissioner in charge of vocational education and training, where I have championed policies, regulations, and programs that expand skills training across this country. Your Excellency, my story demystifies the notion that the people who join TVET are low academic achievers and cannot make it academically. Your Excellency, I have successfully progressed from a national certificate to the highest academic achievement of a PhD. Your Excellency, I have achieved other achievements as follows. I am happily married, Your Excellency, to the most beautiful lady known as Bora Rosette. Together, God has given us children, 6 of them. One completed Senior 4 and started a certificate at Nakawa, and now has finished a diploma in architecture and he's employing himself. The second born is doing fashion and design at Ntinda Vocational Training Institute, and the third born, Your Excellency, is doing hotel and institutional catering at Buganda Royal Institute in Kampala. And my last born is at Kaboja Junior School. Your Excellency, my PhD during this study, I appreciated that technology is an application of science to solve community problems. And beyond public service, Your Excellency, I have demonstrated entrepreneurial spirit which TVET nurtures. I have innovated a formula, Your Excellency, from herbals that make mosquito repellent product, aimed at reducing malaria, one of the Uganda's most pressing health challenge. Your Excellency, it is reported that in Uganda 16 people die every day due to malaria, and most of whom are children below 5 and pregnant mothers, and I'm working to reduce on this, Your Excellency. Our factory, Your Excellency, is in Burenga, Wakiso, and we produce in the packs of 100 grams, 50 grams, and 20 grams. We have now produced over 1,000 pieces every day, And our main challenge, Your Excellency, is marketing these products, but they were approved by UNBS. Your Excellency, I employ 52 people directly and over 2,000 indirectly. I contributed to their livelihood and economic empowerment. Your Excellency, I pay taxes to URIA of about 32,754,400 per annum, boosting government revenue for the public service. Your Excellency, Dr. Tuliatemba's journey illustrates how TVET equips individuals not just for the jobs, but for leadership, for innovation, Your Excellency, for enterprise development. It shows, Your Excellency, that with right skills and right mindset, TVET graduates can transform their communities, drive economic growth, and support inclusive development. Your Excellency, in the world where unemployment remains a critical challenge, Dr. Tuliatemba's life proves that TVET is an undisputed pathway for self-reliance, job creation, and sustainable national progress. I thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eddie Turiatemba, Assistant Commissioner, Department of Technical Vocational Education and Training, Operations and Management at the Ministry of Education and Sports. And thank you for paying URA taxes. May we now invite another beneficiary, this time a lady, Brenda Natamba, who is an architect working with Pokot Associates Uganda Limited. Over to you, my sister.
Thank you, sir. The President of Uganda, Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, the Permanent Secretary, Honorable Ministers present, distinguished officials from Ministry of Education, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am by names of Natamba Brenda, one of the proud pioneers of the Uganda Business and Technical Examinations Board. I currently serve as the company architect at Pokor Associates Uganda Limited. My journey started after completing my senior 6. From an early age, I nurtured a dream of being in the field of engineering, a reason I offered to do PEM in my A-level. However, like many talented young Ugandans, I was faced with the challenge of limited resources like tuition. This could have been a discouraging moment, but instead, it became the beginning of a great career path. Fortunately, a friend of mine introduced to me an opportunity I hadn't initially considered. He advised me to go to Uganda Technical College Bushenyi. I welcomed the idea, I applied willingly, and I thank God because the journey I took, I have never regretted. I applied for a government sponsorship, and I'm grateful to the government of Uganda. I was given a government scholarship. This was a major breakthrough because my parents could not afford tuition for the private universities at that time. I joined UTC Bushenyi in 2012, and my experience there changed my life. Between 2012 and 2014, I gained not only technical skills, but also real world exposure through industrial trainings in various architecture firms. My final industrial training was at a certain company in Ntinda called Prim Futures Uganda Limited. After my industrial internship, I was given a chance to prove myself after my graduation. I was offered my first job as an architecture assistant, a reason I encourage most parents to take their children for technical education because you can get an opportunity to work and earn a living at a very early age. This opportunity was a direct result of hands-on I had acquired through UBTEP and UTC Bushenyi. I will always be grateful for this institution for giving me skills and shaping me into the woman and I am today. After practicing for 3 years with that company, I later got a better opportunity in a company called Pokor Associates Uganda Limited. It is registered and we pay taxes. At first, I was a draft technician. I thank God because they allowed me to work as I studied, because as I was in that company, I wished to go for further studies. I applied at Ndeja University, and I thank God because I started from Ndeja University on a loan scheme. His Excellence, thank you so much for giving students such as me who do not have enough money to pay tuition, for giving us an opportunity to also attain education. I hold a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Ndeja University. I thank the government of Uganda, the HESFEB, for making it possible for students like me to continue with their academic journey. As I continued with my education, I also advanced in my career at Pokor Associates because I had gained skills. At Pokor Associates, we deal in designing plans, we do structural drawings, we do landscaping, interior designs, and all that have helped me to improve in my career and to be able to work and to earn a living, because at the moment I am taking care of my siblings because of the skills that I acquired due to technical education. Looking back, my story is one of the resilience, opportunity, and faith. I stand as a testament to the power of technical education, the importance of government support for higher education, and the impact of entrepreneurship in shaping a self-reliant Uganda. I'm deeply grateful to UBTEB by then, UTC Bushenyi, Ndeja University, Pokor Associates, where I serve as the company architect, and most importantly, the government of Uganda for investing in my potential and the potential of 1,000 Ugandans like me. As we continue building a skilled and innovative nation, I remain committed to giving back, mentoring the next generation of engineers and entrepreneurs, and playing my part in the Uganda's journey towards industrial growth and prosperity. Thank you very much for God and my country.
Thank you very much, Brenda Natamba. Thank you very much, Your Excellency and Mama, for really encouraging the girl child to go on and on. Your Excellency, Mama has always encouraged girls not to despise humble beginnings and start small, but one day get big. And I think this is one of the daughters of this nation that picked up this message. May we now listen to Godwin Mwesezi, a production manager at Crown Beverages Limited.
Thank you so much. His Excellency, the President of Uganda, the Minister of Education and Sports, permanent secretaries, honorable ministers present, distinguished officials from Ministry of Education, all protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm by names of I'm Mwesezi Godwin, and one of the TVET champions. I am a production manager, Crown Beverages, and a director and a founder of Godtech Engineering Company Uganda Limited that deals in manufacture and modification of industrial pallets. This was made in 2016. My education career started at Byarwa Primary School. This is in Isinjiro District, is a government school. Then I later joined Citizens High School for my A-level. From an early age, I wanted to become an engineer because it was the gospel. However, my path was not smooth because my parents were not able to pay school fees in time. So after my A-level at St. Michael High School, Mukono, I had applied for government sponsorship for the government sponsorship at the university, which was not possible. I was not solicited on government sponsorship. because during job forms we also feel technical institutions. So when they didn't call me for government sponsorship, given the dream to become an engineer but with limited resources, I immediately took up the opportunity that was given to me at Uganda Technical College Bushen to do a national diploma in mechanical engineering, which I finished, and that's when my breakthrough started. Between 2012 and 2014, I gained not only technical skills, but real-world exposure through industrial training in various factories. My industrial training, my final one was at Crown Beverages, whereby during that placement, I was given a chance to prove myself. And before I finished my industrial training, I was immediately retained and offered a contract to be a line monitor for 3 months. But I can tell you, before the 3 months elapsed, because of the technical expertise, I was picked again and promoted to be a technical operator in Crown Beverages for 2 years. Then also after proving my skills, the one I had gained from TVET institutions, I was also promoted to a shift manager. The role of a shift manager, which I did for 6 years, and later, after 6 years, I was promoted to be a production manager, Crown Beverages, for the one of the start of our plant at Entebbe and Express. I'm the one overseeing that plant as a production manager. We thank the government of Uganda for giving me such an opportunity, especially His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. And Mama, I did not stop there on diploma. Where I worked while studying, I joined Chambogo University. I thank the government of Uganda again because I joined Chambogo University also on government sponsorship. I did a bachelor's of mechanical and manufacturing engineering. Because of my role as a production manager, I looked at advancing and I went for master's in business administration, which now I'm on research part in my last year. My journey of consistent growth and contribution was realized once I was promoted to a production manager. As I told you before, that I have a company called Gold Tech Engineering, which does industrial pallets. I realized that industrial pallets for manufacturing, especially for companies that do packaging, it was lacking. And the carpenters who by then were available were not able to approach factories for contracts. I picked an interest, and now I again picked another interest because I've realized that almost 73% of furniture is imported from outside for people who want quality. It made me to travel to China to look for those machines I can use and ensure that those first-class furnitures are made from here. I visited the companies, I saw the machines. I've been sourcing now to add up and raise that capital to ensure that I bring those machines here to do value addition and to reduce on importation of furniture. Goditech employs directly about 8 people. Those are the people whom I work with directly, but we still have people we employ directly. But also Goditech again gave birth to another business line, which is a freight business, because I realized by the time I'm transporting these pallets to factories, for example, Quality Plastic, Afroplast, I need transport, and I was tired of hiring. So I bought a bit of, like 6 trucks so far, to help me in transportation, and most of the times I used to do transport for others in case they are not engaged. So as we continue building a skilled, innovative nation, I remain committed in giving back and mentoring the next generation of engineers and entrepreneurs, and playing part of Uganda's journey towards industrial growth and prosperity. I thank you, His Excellency. I thank you, Mama. I thank the government of Uganda. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mweseza, and thank you for inspiring many other people. Right about now, Your Excellency, we have the last testimony from Engineer Dr. Odoch Morris Odrua. Kindly come over and give your testimony.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the First Lady, Mama Janet Museveni, the ministers present, commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. Here I was introduced as Engineer Dr. Odoch Odrua Morris, and here comes the true testimony of technical education in Uganda. The rest of the people were introducing themselves as they started from A level, but I can tell you I did not go through secondary school. I started from Uganda Junior Technical Certificate in Uganda. But before, I did not go to technical school because I never had any option. I never had any option. It was a choice. I'm a proud beneficiary of TVET. It was my dream. I joined junior technical education after primary 7, that is in Inde Technical School, right now in Madikolo, but by then it was in Arua district. I want to start from up. I had been working with Uganda National Roads Authority as engineer bridges and structures, but now with Ministry of Works, and I'm also supporting other sectors as well. As I said, my journey started from Inde Technical School, but I'm starting from up. I specialize in bridges and structures. Right now, I hold a doctorate degree specializing in international construction management. I did a comprehensive bridge engineering from Japan. When I started practicing, I went back for Masters in Infrastructure Planning and Management, still in Yokohama National University, Japan. One of the biggest contractors in Japan took interest in me and took me to do MBA. So I did Masters in Business Administration from University of South Wales in UK. As I was participating a lot in contract management, I went and did Masters in International Construction Law from Liverpool University. So the person standing before you here did not go through secondary school, but has a doctorate degree, has 3 confirmed master's degree. I also hold a Bachelor of Engineering in Civil and Building Engineering from Chambogo University. I hold a postgraduate diploma in project planning and management from Uganda Management Institute, UMI. I also did a diploma in civil and building engineering from Chambogo University. I did my craft part 2 from St. Joseph Technical Institute, Kisubi. I did my craft part 1 from Moyo Technical Institute, and my junior from Inde Technical Institute. Coming from technical education, I had advantage over so many are people that I was working with who came from different sources, system of education in Uganda. I've massively contributed to the economic growth of Uganda. I can announce to you, Your Excellency, I was the resident project engineer for the construction of New Nile Bridge, Jinja, the person in charge. When there was a need to construct a Simba public bridge, there was no consultant, so Ministry of Energy consulted Uganda and contacted Uganda National Road Authority, so I was put the person in charge as the resident engineer for the construction of Isimba Public Bridge, the one connecting Isimba and the one connecting Kayunga and at the other side. Recently, I've been the resident project engineer of Kampala Flyover Project. That has just been commissioned. I've contributed in the design and the construction of so many small bridges in Uganda. But most still, I did not leave the technical education aside. Most of you might have seen me. I've spent most of my small earnings that I do in moving to different technical institutions, secondary school, and even universities in giving career talk to students. The last time I was in the technical school, that was last month. And Your Excellency, I want to report for you some few issues. That was not supposed to be part of this, but I see it is a matter of concern. In the technical school was a great technical school in Uganda. And most of us who sat from there actually passed with distinctions. But as we talk now, there are 5 departments. Out of 5 departments, they're only sharing 5 classrooms. The rest are studying under the trees. And the reason they are studying under the trees is that they had some classrooms but they were broken by the people who came from the ministry with the hope that World Bank was going to sponsor some classroom. But since then, the program did not come into reality, and right now they're suffering and studying under the classroom. Refugees, UNHCR gave them some few tents that they're sharing, but I pray hard that if the situation could be rescued, it will be quite important. For students who are here today, I have one message to you. You will get there, but today you're here. And here is the best place to start after hearing this testimony. Someone once said, the future belongs to those who believe in their dreams. And indeed, I had a dream. And I want you to have a dream the way I had it. To all parents who are here, the private school owners, and the people heading, I understand it is now called skill development centers. I want to tell you one thing, that however good a seed is, the yield is still determined by the soil. So you have these students in your possession, nurture them well, give them advice, and let them excel in life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Odrua. Thank you for the wonderful testimony. I know that if you had time, you'd also have told us about family, but I want to guess right that you're a family man. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, about now would like to get into some speeches, and the person coming next is none other than our technical team leader at the Ministry of Education and Sports, and this is none other than Dr. Kedres Turiagenda, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education and Sports. She is a fully grown educationist. She has been at all levels of education, teacher training, classroom teaching, headship of a school, headship of many other institutions, a commissioner, a member of the Education Review Commission, and now we are glad that Your Excellency, you preferred that she gets back to the sector as the Permanent Secretary. Over to you, Madam PS.
Thank you very much, Henry. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Mama, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, honorable members, honorable ministers and ministers of state present, honorable members of parliament, Your Excellencies, the ambassadors and high commissioners present, representatives of the development partners and civil society organizations, the religious leaders, the fellow permanent secretaries, the local government leaders present, the entire education and sports fraternity, education stakeholders present, our beloved students from the technical TVET institutions who have been here exhibiting, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency and Mama, and all our distinguished guests, all participants and ladies and gentlemen here, on behalf of the technical team of the Ministry of Education and Sports, it is a great honor for me to welcome you to this important occasion as we celebrate the landmark day in the ministry's calendar, the International Day of Education. Your Excellency, Mama, and our distinguished guests, the United Nations designated 24th January as the International Day of Education to reaffirm the central role that education plays in building resilient, inclusive, prosperous societies. Although we in Uganda are celebrating it a bit late, due to unavoidable circumstances, the relevance and the importance of this occasion remain undiminished. We are eternally grateful to God for the opportunity to serve as a sector that develops the human capacity essential for sustaining Uganda's socio-economic transformation. Your Excellency, Mama, and our distinguished guests, our celebrations focused last year, our celebrations focused on universal primary education because primary education is the foundation of education. The theme for last year was education for lasting peace, because through education, we are able to reflect on both the milestones that we have achieved under UPE, and we also reflected on the challenges that persist, but which we shall overcome. Your Excellency and Mama, this year our focus is on technical and vocational education and training, normally called TVET. It is a strategic pillar for skilling, employment, and national development, as has been indicated in the 4 testimonies that we have just heard. Over the past decade, Uganda has made remarkable progress in advancing TVET, and today's event provides an opportunity to reflect on our journey and the vision ahead of us. Your Excellency and Mama, want to thank you, Your Excellency, that in 2012, you graced the launch of Skilling Uganda Strategic Plan, which ran from 2012 to 2022. It was and still is a visionary framework that repositioned TVET as a driver for economic development. Since then, we have recorded significant accomplishments. These include modernization and expansion of TVET infrastructure, enhanced capacity building for our trainers, whom we refer to as instructors, the integration of skills development across all education levels. Your Excellency, now our curriculum right from Senior 1 is integrated with skills development. Club. These are reinforcing government's commitment to building a responsive, demand-driven, competence-based TVET systems which are aligned with Uganda's labor market needs and the development aspirations. Today, TVET is positioned at the vital nexus between education and the world of work. It facilitates the transition of young people and adults into employment and supports lifelong learning and progression, as we have just heard in the testimonies. It drives Uganda's socio-economic development. We extend profound appreciation to the National Resistance Movement government for its visionary leadership in prioritizing education reforms as articulated in the Vision 2040 and the National Development Plan 3 and the current one, Plan 4. These frameworks underscore the imperative of skilling as the foundation for sustainable growth and competitiveness. Significant progress has been made in expanding access to TVET. Your Excellency, today, almost every district hosts a TVET institution, with only 45 out of the 178 local governments yet to be fully covered by government institutions. Each region also benefits from the centers of excellence, which I have just referred to above. Where gaps exist in the 45 local governments and a few other areas, partnerships with private sector and investment in skilling hubs are providing complementary pathways to skills acquisition and employability. We call upon parents and communities to proactively engage with these opportunities to empower our youth. Your Excellency, I'm pleased to report that the Ministry has completed the coding of 9 presidential pledged vocational training institutions. These institutions include vocational training institutes at Engineer Kauriza Kasauda, Epel Memorial, Mbijiti Memorial, Engineer Dan Nabumere Memorial, Maumbe Mukwana Memorial, Kazo, and so those are at the level of technical vocational institutes. But we also have 3 of the pledges that we have already coded, and these include Eria Kategaya, Katugunda, and Muchini Skills Development Centers. We want to thank you, Your Excellency, for continually providing for our young people. As we commemorate this day, we reaffirm the urgency of sustained investment in TVET training, research, and innovation. In this era of rapid technology change, driven by advances in artificial intelligence, education systems need to be re-engineered to nurture both technical proficiency and the irreplaceable human skills of critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and emotional intelligence. Globally, the education systems are embracing AI while safeguarding the core values of human-centered learning, like Uganda is. Uganda must be at the forefront of this transformation to ensure that our graduates are competitive, adaptable, and ethical contributors to our economy and to the global economy as well. As I conclude, Your Excellency and Mama and our esteemed guests, I commend the organizing committee that has worked very hard to ensure that today we are here. This committee was chaired by Ms. Frances Atima, the Director of Education Standards. They coordinated activities that contributed to the success of this event, but also allow me to extend our appreciation, deep appreciation, to all the stakeholders, our development partners, the TVET providers, the exhibitors who have supported and enriched today's celebration and also have continued in the promotion of skills development, especially through both formal and informal training. Your contributions and enduring commitment to education sector are invariable. Your Excellency and Mama, and all our esteemed guests, we thank you for honoring us with your presence. Please join me to appreciate them. Together, let us continue building our education system fit for the future. Together, let us shape an education system that is resilient, future-ready, and capable of empowering generations for the future. I wish all of you God's blessings. I say this for God and my country.
Thank you very much, our dear Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kedres Turiagenda, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education and Sports. Your Excellency and Mama, by the time you came, we had received quite a number of entertainments coming in from a number of institutions, ranging from the universities, the colleges, the vocational institutes, the polytechnics, and all the others. Just to break a little monotony of the speech, let's have Chigumba Cooperative College do a small skit as we get ushered into the next speech. Chigumba Cooperative College, all the way from Masindi, have a very simple message that they are giving to His Excellency, Mama, and the rest of us in that skit. I am certain that they picked a microphone with them and that they are starting right away. Meantime, Chigumba gets ready. Your Excellency and Mama, among the entertainments we've had since yesterday was a very entertaining exhibition. Because when you get to the exhibition, you are not only learning what is on display, but also eating with the eyes. There's quite a variety to see and appreciate. Mama, we also had various songs coming in from our institutions and all focused on the message of TVET. We also had a very, very interesting demonstration coming in from one of our health training institutions about how to handle an accident. And that was none other than the training school for nurses in Dubaga. So over to you, Chigumba.
So much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Mama, the First Lady, protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. Before you, I am Ivan Twinamasko, a student at Uganda Cooperative College, Chigumba, and on stage I am with a team from the same institution to present you a skit entitled Unity and Cooperation, the only way through which we can develop ourselves. Before us, we have a picture illustration of the skit, a second for each one of us in the audience. Which interpretation do we give to the picture illustration? Different chapters show us different illustrations, but I know all of us have different interpretation of the picture illustration before us. But allow me to take you through the practical demonstration of the picture illustration. The two baskets represent the programs that have been put before us. These programs are in place, but we are looking at us individuals trying to tap into these opportunities to benefit from them at an individual basis. The rope between the two individuals symbolizes the hindrances that stop us from tapping into these opportunities. We look at the two individuals, however much they try to tap into these opportunities put before us by the government, they completely fail. Why? Because of the hindrances, symbolic of the rope between them. Hindrances, for example, ignorance. Some of us out there in our communities are not aware of these programs put before us by the government. Hindrances, for example, poor political ideologies, where some of us out there in our communities think these programs are only beneficial to people that support the ruling party, and of which these programs are for the whole country to benefit from them regardless of the parties they support. Hindrances, for example, personal and individual interests to benefit from these finances. But however much we try to tap into these opportunities as individuals, we see they struggle and fail completely. And after failing, we see them deciding to come together, cooperating and uniting. We see them coming together and asking themselves, how do we go about this? They cooperate and unite. And we see them after uniting, they leave these hindrances and decide to tap into these opportunities one at a time. The coming together being symbolic of the groups that the government emphasizes we should form. We see them now enjoying the fruits of the parish development model. We have seen people benefiting from this. They have been able to improve their standards of living, those being the fruits of the parish development model program. We see these people still, through formation of groups and uniting, deciding to tap into the other programs of the government. For example, the Emyoga program. We see them also enjoying the fruits of this program. We have seen people being able to invest out of these programs. They have been able to develop their standards of living. They have been able to educate their children. All this being achieved through cooperating and uniting. Meaning development and cooperation are the only option. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Uganda Cooperative College. A loud hand clap for that skills demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now move into listen to a joint statement by UNESCO and UNICEF on this International Day of Education. And this is going to be led by none other than the UN Resident Coordinator, Leonard Zulu. Very much welcome, sir, to the podium at the VIP tent.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Good afternoon, everyone. Your Excellency, General Yoweri Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Museveni, development partners, UN colleagues, representatives from civil society and private sector, Madam Permanent Secretary, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you all warm greetings from the United Nations family in Uganda. I am delighted to be part of the national commemoration of International Day of Education under the theme, Artificial Intelligence and Education, Preserving Human Agency in a World of Automation. I would like to commend the government of Uganda under the leadership of His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, for leading the way on the African continent in reforming education to keep in tune with the times, beginning with the Universal Primary Education, UPE, in 1997, Universal Secondary Education in 2007, and the adoption of the new secondary school curriculum in 2021, which emphasizes learning of practical skills for life. Your Excellency, I would like to also present you with a message that the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, gave for the International Day of Education 2025, and I quote, "Education is a basic human right and an essential building block for every person to reach their full potential and for societies and economies to grow and flourish. Today's rapid technological breakthroughs, like artificial intelligence, hold enormous promise to support students of all ages across their learning journeys. Close quotation marks. Ladies and gentlemen, artificial intelligence offers major opportunities for education, provided its deployment in schools is guided by clear ethical principles. To reach its full potential, this technology must complement the human and social dimensions of learning rather than replace them. It must become a tool at the service of teachers and pupils, with the main objective being their autonomy and well-being. Artificial intelligence can be used as a tool to enhance learning in technical and vocational education and training institutions, to refine vocational skills required to thrive in the job market and contribute to Uganda's economic growth. Initiatives by the United Nations system in Uganda in TVET have already shown promising results, and we are committed as the United Nations to continue supporting the youth of Uganda, empowering them with skills needed to succeed in an ever-evolving job market. Our initiatives focus on improving education infrastructure, teacher training, and curriculum development, ultimately contributing to a more skilled and competitive workforce. We have equipped TVET institutions with production equipment and ICT infrastructure, enabling trainers to deliver high-quality programs. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as we look to the future, we recognize the importance of continued investment in science, technology, and artificial intelligence in education. We call upon the government and all stakeholders to support the following actions. Number one, to promote inclusive and responsible use of such technologies as artificial intelligence to promote quality education services and job creation. Number two, to boost youth employment by adopting an integrated approach that combines training, job matching, financial support, and the participation of young people in design and implementation of programs. Number three, to support investment in the development of digital technologies and digital public infrastructure with the aim of achieving universal connectivity, closing the digital divide, advancing e-commerce, and deepening financial inclusion. Your Excellency, on behalf of the United Nations system in Uganda, I urge all stakeholders, government, private sector, civil society, and individuals to join hands in supporting education initiatives that empower Uganda's youth and drive sustainable development. Together, we can build a brighter future for Uganda, where every individual has access to quality education and the opportunity to reach their full potential. I thank you all. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zulu, for that wonderful presentation. We are now moving closer to listening to our chief guest, but before we can get there, we'll now welcome a statement by the chairperson of the Education Development Partners, and this is going to be none other than Ambassador Jan Sadek, the EU Head of Delegation in Uganda. Ambassador, you are very much welcome.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Let me start, of course, by recognizing here and greet Your Excellency, President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. Also, Honorable Peter Ogwang, the State Minister of Sports, Permanent Secretary Kedres Turiagienda, honorable members of parliament, representatives of government ministries, departments and agencies, excellencies, ambassadors, we have the Dutch ambassador, United Nations resident coordinator, head of mission of Iceland, UNHCR representative, and other development partners such as the World Bank, Ireland, UNICEF and UNESCO. Distinguished guests, and not least all the students that have gathered here today, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to speak to you today on behalf of the Education Development Partners Group, as we join hands to celebrate the International Day of Education, a moment to reflect on progress, challenges, and the way forward in achieving Sustainable Development Goal 4, inclusive and equitable quality education for all. Let me start by commending Uganda's national priorities on technical and vocational education and training, TVET. We welcome the recent passing of the new TVET Act 2025, a major milestone in Uganda's education reform journey. The Act sets out an ambitious and much needed, yes, an applaud. The Act sets up an ambitious and much needed transformation of the TVET system, establishing an employer-led sector aligned with national development goals and the creation of a national TVET council. All in all, this is both visionary and urgent, because the future of work will demand not only academic knowledge, but practical skills, adaptability, and innovation. As development partners, those are the ones gathered here today, mentioned before. We applaud this bold vision. It brings Uganda's skills development system closer to the labor market and strengthens the foundation for a skills-led economic transformation. Your Excellency, First Lady, honorables, ladies and gentlemen, this year's global theme for the International Day of Education calls upon us to examine the role of artificial intelligence and digital technologies in transforming education. We should acknowledge that AI can be a powerful tool to support learning, improve teaching, and strengthen systems, even in resource-constrained settings. I think we can all see how, but let me just give you a quick example of the potential of AI in education and training. Imagine now you are a teacher in a rural school with 40 students and limited resources. You have to prepare a lesson on the water cycle. The time is short and you have no textbooks. What if you could simply ask an AI assistant, like this one, can you help me create a 40-minute lesson plan on the water cycle for primary 4 learners, including a group activity and a quiz? And I've now put this in the AI app in my phone, and this is now what the AI proposes.
Here's your lesson plan. Objective: students will understand the stages of the water cycle. Materials: diagrams, printed or drawn, a clear bowl of water, and plastic wrap. Activities: 10 minutes. Introduction with a visual diagram. 15 minutes. Group activity: simulate evaporation using water and heat. 10 minutes. Class discussion on findings. 5 minutes. Quiz 5 questions to check understanding.
Our AI tool to the TVET context. And let's ask my digital co-speaker another question. AI, how can you support a TVET instructor working in a crowded workshop with limited materials? Let me punch that in, and this is the answer that AI suggests.
I can help that instructor by suggesting hands-on training activities using locally available materials. generating safety checklists, creating step-by-step guides for practical tasks, and adapting content to different skill levels. I can even offer alternative methods when equipment is lacking, helping make skills training more accessible and engaging.
That's not bad, right? So now imagine that what this could mean for thousands of instructors and youth across Uganda, especially in remote areas, if this technology was introduced with the right support, training, and infrastructure. At the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we must be clear-eyed about the risks. AI in education and training is not a silver bullet. If introduced without careful planning and oversight, it may inadvertently reinforce existing inequalities and create new ones. These risks are not a reason to avoid innovation, but a reason to proceed thoughtfully with inclusion, transparency, and ethics at the core. And of course, we must not forget that human connection remains central to learning. Technology should support teachers, not replace them. The teacher is and must remain the heart of the classroom. And also, technology cannot be a substitute for the basics. The introduction of artificial intelligence into the education and training system must not divert us from critical investments in teachers, trainers, infrastructure, and learning materials. Efficient use of public and development financing requires smart prioritization. In a context of limited resources, we must be intentional and strategic. AI should complement and amplify foundational efforts, not compete with them. Your Excellency, First Lady, Honorables, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, as education development partners, we stand ready to support the government in ensuring that investments in AI and digital tools go hand in hand with investments in instructors, trainers, teachers, and the essential infrastructure of schools and training centers, including water, sanitation and hygiene, school meals, and safe, climate-resilient learning environments. As education development partners, we are also pleased to confirm the recent approval of the Global Partnership for Education grant of $115 million to support the U-Learn program for Uganda. That is some 420 billion Ugandan shillings. Thank you. Thank you. This investment, together with the additional $210 million or set to a future where technology becomes a bridge, not a barrier, and where every learner, including those in vocational and technical paths, has the opportunity to thrive, contribute, and shape the country's future. So congratulations on the International Day of Education, and thank you very much for your attention.
And our dear mother. Your Excellency, the testimonies which have been presented here are all out of the leadership our dear mother is giving to the sector. We want to say as a sector, as we love you, we love our mother, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the performance of the ministry led by our dear mother, as per the Manifesto Implementation Unit, 4 months ago, she scored 90% in line with the implementation of the sector commitments in the manifesto. Your Excellency, why am I bringing this? One, thank you and the Almighty God, and one, thank our dear mother and the Almighty God. We still need both you and her to continue championing the economic development and the reforms the country needs. Your Excellency and colleagues, Mama, allow me in a special way recognize a few colleagues who are here. One, the chairperson, Committee of Education and Sports, Honorable Kubekteria, is present here. Two, Honorable Bingi Patrick, a member of the committee, is present here. Three, Honorable Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Alanyo, representative of the UPDF, who is a member of the committee, is here. 4, Honorable Agnes Achibu, Member of Parliament for Nebi District, who is present here. With those, Mama, allow me to invite you to address this gathering. You're most welcome, Mama. Can we clap as we welcome our dear Minister of Education and Sports? Thank you so much, Your Excellency and Mama.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ogwang. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State present here today, Honorable Members of Parliament, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors and High Commissioners, development partners and civil society organizations, religious leaders, the permanent secretaries present here today, local government leaders, TVET trainers and students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. I want to welcome you to our belated celebration of the International Day of Education 2025. I thank God for enabling us to gather here today to honor a special day that is internationally dedicated to education. Mr. President, I thank you for honoring our invitation to officiate at this celebration and for prioritizing it, giving you a very busy schedule. This is an indication of your selfless commitment and continued support to the education sector in the quest to achieve quality and equitable education for all Ugandans. As we are all aware, education is a basic right that every person, irrespective of age, gender, or ability, should enjoy. Indeed, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda recognizes education as a fundamental human right and a key driver of development that it really is. It is also clear that our government, through its national planning frameworks, recognizes human capital development as a key priority area to propel development of any nation. This year, we celebrate, as you heard our Permanent Secretary say, the International Day of Education under the theme AI and Education, preserving human agency in a world of automation. Well, this theme requires us to explore and discuss the opportunities and challenges of artificial intelligence and its use within the field of education and training. Recognizing that this technology is already shaping the future landscape of our workforce, we must critically reflect on the relationship between artificial intelligence and human capital development. But perhaps I can now say I thank our colleague, the European ambassador, for giving us a very good example of what AI can do in the area of education and development. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, it is time, however, to ask questions Is technology taking over and replacing the human capital? Is human capital development still necessary given what AI can do and is already doing, as we've just heard? Is it possible that AI and human capital can coexist positively, given that each has its strength and its weaknesses? In our attempt to answer or respond to the above questions, the Ministry of Education and Sports has developed the digital agenda for the education and sports sector in line with the government commitment towards enhancing the use of technology to achieve Vision 2040. As a nation, we have localized the theme of this year's celebrations to focus on promoting an employer-led TVET system which is functional, effective, and efficient to meet the needs of the labor market. And I want to really applaud our permanent secretary for the examples she chose, and her technical people, because those examples give us living testimonies, indeed, as they said, of what TVET is doing. Technical and vocational education and training offers numerous benefits, including enhanced employability, increased economic growth, and is a pathway to social mobility. TVET programs equip individuals with critical skills and knowledge, making them more attractive to employers and driving economic development. Furthermore, this TVET fosters a culture of continuous learning by enabling individuals to adapt to changing the job market demands in line with Sustainable Development Goal number 4, which emphasizes lifelong learning. And additionally, TVET training has a potential to foster inclusivity and break down barriers to employment for workers with disabilities. This goes a long way in increasing workforce participation and productivity. Mr. President, according to the recent National Population Census 2024, it is evident that the highest percentage of our population are youth, which poses a challenge of youth unemployment, given the demands of employment. It is inevitable that government focuses on skilling young people to meet the demands of the world of work. Mr. President, thank you for being a great ally now in skilling our young people. Through the presidential skilling hubs, a number of out-of-school youth have been provided with relevant skills to enable them be self-employed, and it is gratifying to know that a number of them have come up with innovations and prototypes. All that they require is more support to take them to the next level of production. If government can ensure that each of these young people gets a toolbox to start a small starter industry, then employing these people would be real. Your Excellency, we also thank you for supporting the development and assenting to the TVET Act 2025. This long-awaited for law will now give strategic direction and guidance for the required reforms in the TVET subsector. I'm happy to report that the law commenced on 15th March 2025, and the process of establishing the relevant agencies to operationalize this law as the TVET Council and the assessment boards is now ongoing. As I conclude, I'd like to appreciate the support of our development partners who are represented here, who have held hands with us in pursuit of quality education and sports for all. We remain committed to this partnership, and it is my prayer that we gather for this event next year with more achievements to celebrate together, considering that GPE is on the way. I wish to thank the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education and Sports, with her technical team for organizing this event and for the routine work they do in the ministry that has enabled the sector to register achievements, especially in the TVET subsector. Mr. President, it is now my singular honor to invite you to deliver your speech to these people. I thank you and God bless you.
The Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, the other ministers, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomat Corps, educationists, and all the invited guests. Before the modern education, we had traditional education. That traditional education was characterized by three factors. You had mainly informal education, which was imparted by the families. Because the society, the tribes here, were organized in caste systems. You would have cattle keepers with their traditional cattle keeping knowledge, like you see the Karamojong today. Then you would have the agriculturalists, then you have the fishermen, fisher communities, then you would have the artisans, blacksmiths, and so on. Now, the families would pass on knowledge informally at home as the child grows up. That knowledge was quite extensive, although not written down. And now these days, some of our scientists are going back and getting that knowledge and using modern methods. They are discovering that is very, very useful knowledge, especially medicine and other support systems for life. Then you would have apprenticeship, especially for the artisans. You would have the blacksmith training a few people by working with them. Then you have the carpenters, the Bakomaji, the ones who are of those who are making backcloth and so on. And then you also had institutional education, especially by the kingdoms. The kingdoms would train young people formally, mainly in warfare, in fighting, how to fight. That's what they were doing most of the time. Now, when modern education came, initially, the missions were not very clear. It was mainly started by the churches and a little bit by the colonial government, where they wanted to get people, the catechists, to spread the religion, and also the colonial government wanted to get some auxiliary support for the colonial system, to get clerks, some interpreters, and a little bit of technical support staff, such as medical assistants, veterinary assistants, and so on. Now, when we came, and I'm glad you are all here, but there was also, that education was very limited. It was for very few people. You can imagine by 1961, in the whole of Uganda, we had only 6 A-level schools. These were Budo, Gayaza, Ntare, Namagunga. Somebody said Nabingordomi, I was not sure, and Kisubi. There were only 6 by 1961, 6 A-level schools. And you can get the figures of the people involved, the numbers. So when we came, we were aware of all this because we had gone through it. We knew the limitations. And that's why we said, as soon as stability was restored, we proposed to you in the elections of 1996 that we should have education for all, universal education. Unfortunately, this has not been fully implemented because of the resistance by the head teachers, some of the head teachers, and the PTA. They are looking for money, money. So on this occasion, I would like to congratulate the Minister of Education for what has been done, to congratulate the whole government for what has been done, but to remind everybody that the real solution is universal education. All children must go to school and stay there in government schools. The private people can charge money, but not to government schools. Government schools must plan so that we get rid of school charges. You are talking about the skilling hubs, how they are helping young people who are desperate. I wish you could hear the testimonies of those young people. I don't know how long your conference is here, but they could put there some of their testimonies. These are children who are locked out of the education system by that money thing of in the government schools. It is the barrier. It's a very big barrier, must stop. So when they are desperate, when I brought this free skilling at the zonal level, those children who come there, they are like resurrection. Somebody who had given up life, now he has got hope. So this is one point that must be clear. There must be no school charges. Once we are ready, we must ensure there are no school charges in the government schools. Even here, these young people who are giving testimonies, the ones who are speaking here, they tell you how free education helped them. That's what they were saying here. All of them. They got government sponsorship. They were this and that and that. You heard them saying here in these who spoke here. So this is a big bottleneck. It must be removed. Now, the moment you go for education for all, free education in government schools, then the next question is, what sort of education? That's why again we have another struggle. And we told you, emphasize science education. Emphasize science education. Africa was colonized not because we lacked kings. We had plenty of kings with the leopard skins and all that. Not because we lacked priests. We had a lot of witch doctors and so on. Not because we lacked singers who can sing and amuse people, or storytellers. We had all those. But Africa was colonized and almost exterminated because we lagged behind in science and technology. Gunpowder, that was the biggest gap in what we were doing. Europe acquired gunpowder when we were still using bows and arrows and spears. So Africa must never lag behind again in science and technology. That's why we say, yes, education is all important, but emphasis must be put on science and technology. And the AI you are talking about is part of that. It is not magic. It is the use of natural laws to solve problems. AI. And people should not fear AI. AI is part of the understanding of nature. and using it to solve our problems. It's not that we don't need social sciences. No. If you study economics, you would hear of the 4 factors of production. That we need 4 factors of production. What are they? Later on, some people added another one. They said there was a number 5, but me, I remember the 4, which I studied 60 years ago. And these are land, natural resources, which means natural resources, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship can be a humanities subject. It is not necessarily a science subject. It is the one which puts together all the other factors. So social science is important. The only difference is that it must have a base, or a very wide base of science and technology. Now, finally, I'm happy to see the partners here, UNESCO and the European Union and the others. It's good that they support Africa to come out and catch up with the rest of the world. I don't know the planners in Western Europe. I think they are bad planners. They don't know how to plan well. Because I don't know why they like to have parts of the world remain backward when only some parts are the ones which are affluent. This is not good even for them. I don't know why people don't see that. Global affluence will benefit everybody, irrespective of who they are. Whether they are communists, you find people talking about China, I don't know what. Me, I'm very happy for China to be very progressive and for all the people in the world to be progressive. Why? This is because some years ago, the price of steel had collapsed. When we came into the government, we have got very good iron ore in Kabale area. We got a very good, it's the best in the world. Very pure, 70%. And for a long time, I was trying to get investors to invest in that iron ore to create a steel industry. But I couldn't get investors. I was being told that there is a glut, what they call a glut, G-L-U-T. There is too much steel, that the price is so low. At that time, apparently, the price of steel had gone down to $200 per ton. And why was this? It was because prosperity in the world was only in Western Europe, North America, and Japan. They were the ones having an affluent life, with good houses, with driving cars, which need steel. And that's why they were saying that there was too much steel in the world. There was a glut. But in a very short time, when China took off, and started developing very fast. And India took off. And even Africa to some extent. The demand for steel went up. The demand for steel went from $200 per ton at one time to $900 per ton. And that's why now my problem is no longer to attract companies to convert our obtare. Iron ore in our language is called obtare. We have got more words than the English. The English don't have enough words. Say iron ore. No. Obtare. Obtare. When you hear obtare, that means iron ore. Now I have got a big problem selecting which company to work with to develop the steel industry of Uganda. Why? Because of the wider prosperity. Whether the Chinese are communists or not, and whether they are Russians, I don't know what they are, but they all need steel. And it's good for me, for Uganda, it's good for Africa. The demand of copper has gone up because they need wires for electricity and so on. So therefore, it's good that...
May I hear more noise from the young people applauding the President for the wonderful presentation and the confirmation that he is in full support of the TVET sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to conclude the first of this event. And so coming on next are three important things. One are the anthems. The anthems will come first. And then immediately after the anthems, we'll go for the photo moments. And I'm going to read who will be part of the photo, but it will involve all of us. And then we shall continue with exhibition as well as entertainment. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, may I request police band to lead us into the anthem. Okay, kindly just pause. Yeah, thank you very much for that exhibition. Police band, thank you. I didn't want to release you before you sing for me, City Regular, but you have disconnected your gadgets. Police, if you had not disconnected, I would beg for City Regular. I really like it when it comes from your band, but another day, better. Now I request Masaka Skills Institute to play it for us, if they can. Masaka, give us City Regular as we continue. We know that many of us parked quite a distance away, some at UMI, as we enjoy the City Regular. A student of Uganda Technical College Bushenyi lost his identity card. It is here with me. Mumbere Dan, come for it. I'm offering a certificate course in electronics. Let's listen a bit to the band, then we'll get back to the video. Let's listen to the band a bit, then we get back to the video. Yes, Masaka. Hey, I thought you were bringing City Regular. Please come with City Regular. My people are going away. We can invite our buses and trucks to pick us from here. Mr. Muhumuza Evans from School of Psychiatric Clinic Officers also announces the loss of his identity card. Please, whoever has come across it, kindly bring it to us. Masaka, please take me to Siri Regula before I go. Thank you very much for Akuna Matata. Thank you very much, Masaka. We got. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Masaka. As we continue to enjoy the band, Nsamizi Training Institute is one of the exhibitors, and they are reminding all of us that they are located just about 30 kilometers off the Masaka Road in Mpigi. They have diplomas in social work, diploma entrepreneurship, diploma community health development, diploma gender, children, youth and development, diploma guidance, human resource, national diploma in journalism, procurement and logistics, diploma in business management, and many short courses in administrative law, adult learning, basic computer, community mobilization, crisis management, multimedia, and so many others. And they are saying their fees are very, very affordable. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not have to walk all the way to UMI. If that is where your vehicle parked, or City High, just give a call to the driver to come. Now you have access to Kololo ceremonial grounds. Students of UAHAMS, Molago, your bus is waiting for you, but we thought you are still exhibiting. There's a student who lost his card from Uganda College Bushenyi by the names of Mumbere Dan. Please come and pick your national ID from me so that you can make good use of it. Another student called Muhumuza Evans also lost his ID and is humbly appealing that you bring it to the MC or call 0740-090-439. We continue to appreciate whoever has been here. I did mention that the organization that acts as an umbrella to all district education officers and district education inspectors have been here. We want to thank that team so much. They are called NAMDEO. I earlier mentioned NAMDEO, but some people may not have heard the acronym. Thank you very much. All the rest, Masaka, continue giving that good music, but we can also continue to showcase what is in the skilling hubs on the screens.